thanks for having given this chance. So, today we talk about how nanotechnology is transforming agriculture and what could be the prospects of this agriculture nanotechnology. And then we will also go that how agriculture nanotechnology is making smarter agriculture, precision agriculture, and then high production, productivity oriented agriculture. What are the areas of application? So that, tomorrow's agriculture is going to be a high-tech agriculture with things like RFID and then, smarter fertilizers, smarter pesticides, target-oriented pesticides, and so on. So now that's about my background. I'll be sharing you all these things. So now there was an article. Many of my colleagues, Dr. Kalpana Shastri, she was at NARM, and Dr. N.H. Rao, we all worked together at NARM, Hyderabad. So I told you that I was in NARM until 2019. Later on, I came to IIHR. So there was an article published whether nanotechnology can provide innovations for a second green revolution in Indian agriculture. Very, very relevant. We'll be going one by one. So obviously in the area of natural resource management, how efficiently we are going to use our soil, water, energy inputs. Okay, you push a nanoparticle, you can always put a sensor over there and you can know what is your moisture levels. Okay, by monitoring many of these smart technologies into the soil, into water, into natural resources, we can actually characterize how these resources have to be managed and when our water table is going to go dry. So then, we'll also see how the value addition in the agriculture waste and biomass can happen with the microorganisms and nanoparticles, and also the disease diagnosis. Whether can we have, like our glycated hemoglobin test. So whether we can push some nanoparticles and say that, there is a particular disease like rust or anything is going to be very heavy in the coming 3 months. Then we'll also think on how the nano fertilizers, nano pesticides are improving the delivery mechanism in plant, child, and animal system. So we'll also be able to use nanoparticles and track the biodiversity and the life span of various flora and fauna. So we'll also see how the horticulture food supply chain is going to be affected with nanotechnology, how I can use the RFID, how I can use the tracking, and make an efficient supply chain with the logistics and transportation model. And especially in food processing and packing, already we have got these nano sensors. And, based on that, we can say that which particular food is getting rotten or which is having the better shelf life and things like that. Then how can I do value addition of ethnic foods? So we can also do some risk assessment and safety education. Okay, awareness across the society about nanotechnology. So we'll also be developing new genetic types, breeds and cultivars. Very recently, you saw that, purple color tomato getting released, which is having a very high lycopene content. So these were all how we have used nanotechnology to the things. So one by one, we'll be going. Okay, especially when I use nano sensors in biodiversity, I can track my elite lines, breeds and cultivars. I can know which is getting, vanished or where the particular species is going to end. Then afterwards, we'll also see value addition. How can I do better cooking? How can I preserve my nutrients, especially in the post-harvest processing scenario? Then horticulture chain, how can I use nano sensors for tracking the cold chain and nano emulsions for enhancing shelf life? So these are some of the research areas which we are going to do. See now, look at this very important slide. See, the conventional agriculture right from the Green Revolution in 1960s, we focus more on new varieties, agrochemicals, irrigation, mechanization, biological nitrogen fixation, and environmental impact and yield. But once when the nano-enabled agriculture has come, okay, I can say more post 2003 and 10 and all that, we want to enhance the fertilizer efficiency. We want to have better sensors and IoT-based, nano sensors-based agriculture. We want to have an efficient delivery and supply chain. And then we know that's how our efficient, sustainable, nano-enabled agriculture, even by 2080, this has been projected. See, now when I say nano fertilizers, look at the leaf area. We have the stomata on the leaf surface. So these are called the hydrathodes. So whenever I give an aerial spray, a foliar spray, okay, the nutrients are going to be picked up directly by the leaf, and then it is going into the system. See, normally you know that a plant has got two types of cells. One is the xylem and the other one is the phloem. See, now the xylem is responsible for transportation of the nutrients from the root system to the shoot system, whereas the phloem exactly does the reverse of the job. See, the phloem is always, see, look at the xylem and phloem. The blue one is the xylem, the yellow one is the phloem. So this together constitutes the vascular bundle. So the xylem always, even through the stomata, when I give a foliar application of the urea, nano fertilizer, nano urea by IFCO or whoever, so the xylem picks it up and it transportations upwards. So the phloem is, once when the leaf is converting into food, that is when it is doing the photosynthesis activity, the glucose molecules are transported through the phloem from the leaf to the roots. So these are the two systems, just like you have a digestive system in human beings. These are the plant systems, and obviously, the other, the leaf structure and so on. So now when I do a nano fertilizer application, I'm basically targeting that it is going to be uptaken by the vascular bundle, that is preferably, especially by the xylem, through the stomata. Okay, and these are the guard cells. Now, nano fertilizers can be applied in the soil. They can be applied in the foliar application also. Through the leaves also, we are going to give it. See, once when I put the nanoparticles, or see, now we know nano urea has come. It comes in a 250 milliliter bottle. I'll show you. Rather than putting 2 bags of urea, 100 kilos of urea gives you 42.6 kilos of nitrogen. So if I had to give 100 kilos of nitrogen, 2 bags, I had to engage labor and then I had to spread it in the field. Whereas now I'm going to do a beautiful spray, and then, or I'm going to put it in the soil, and then it is going to be picked up by the root system through the xylem, and then it's going to be transported. So now when I come to the engineered nanomaterials, so the shape of the nanomaterials may be circle, triangle, rectangle, and so on and so forth. The size may be very small. And also it has got an electric charge of positive and negative. Okay, just like we have the protons and the neutrons. Here also it is positively and negatively charged. And then the aggregation is going to take place. And because of these charges which are there on the small nanoparticles, the effective movement, and then the way, just like our corona gets, is to infect us. So even at a very small nano level, if somebody sneezes, you are catching the corona infection. That's why we were putting the mask and all that. So similarly, the engineering nanomaterials is also going to be picked up through the charges, and then the better transportation and highly efficient agriculture is in place. See, now the nano fertilizers may be metallic in nature, with the metals like copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc. And then it may be ceramic in nature, the macronutrient nanofertilizer, where we use calcium, magnesium, and calcium phosphorus ions. And it may be polymeric in nature, like the nitrogen and the phosphorus. Okay, and then the nanomaterial enhanced fertilizer may be of different types. The nano chitosan fertilizer is one of the things. Then plant growth stimulators may be in the form of graphene, or especially the indole acetic acid and so on and so forth. So all these things will have to give a foliar spray and enhance the efficiency. See, now I am very quickly do. So there are many types of macronutrient fertilizer. You see the normal urea. You see here, the red one is the normal urea, whereas the nano hybrid urea is a very slow release. Look at the time here. See, 4,000 seconds are there. So the solubility, the behavior, the moment I put it in water, immediately it will be dissolved. And within the next, when a rain comes, the entire thing gets leached off. But whereas in case of a nano urea, slowly it gets released, and therefore the leaching is not there. So therefore, look at the yield figures where the normal urea, the green in color, and the nano urea is giving a higher yield. Similarly, macronutrient also shows similar trend. The foliar application and the soil application. So it says the control foliar and soil. The black is all things. See, at nano levels, the green one, the foliar application, is giving better results. Everywhere you can see this trend. Okay, and therefore this is how it works. So similarly, the nano material enhanced fertilizers are also going to do. See, now I'm going to tell you how the plant is going to uptake. All the growth stimulators, all this, I'm not going into the very technical aspect and of that. So what does the nano fertilizer do and what are the key drivers? One is the germination percentage is better, the seed vigor is better, germination time is faster, okay, the phenology, the growth cycle is better, stomatal behavior is enhanced, okay, the leaves exhibit all these growth parameters. So all these things are enhanced. So it is having social acceptance, it is having no environmental footprint, it can be scalable even at a larger scale, and the economic viability is there. See, now IFCO has come out with a nano nitrogen, nano zinc, and nano copper. So just a 250 milliliter bottle, which will cost you about 240 rupees, can be used as compared to the urea bag, which is also 250 rupees for 50 kg bag, but you'll have to use 2 bags of urea. So this is going to reduce the labor. And then, the some of this Nano Biotechnology Research Center was put at Gandhinagar, Gujarat, at Kalol, where Modi ji inaugurated this. And they are the people first time in India who are producing this nano fertilizers. And first time they released the nitrogen, zinc, and copper on 3rd November 2019. And then, we have already told you how it enters. And what is a nanotechnology? I told you 10,000 times the surface area of one urea particle. So we told you that nano is always 10 to the power minus 9. 10 to the power minus 6 is micro. Okay, micrometer, nanometer is 10 to the power minus 9. So that is going to be the small size. So 2 to 4 ml per liter of water we have to mix, and then 2 critical stages will be spraying. So the action is it gets absorbed by the plant and entering the leaves through stomata. It gets translocated to the other parts through phloem. Okay, this we have already told. Surplus nanofertilizer stored in vacuole is released in a balanced manner as per the need. See, the moment you put it on the leaves, okay, the vacuoles also store these nutrients. Please, we had never thought about this. We've only studied in botany about the leaf and the function of the vacuole. We used to answer big questions of 2 pages, 3 pages. See, now when I spray these fertilizers, see, irrespective, see, the moment water is available, it will start transportation. I told you through the phloem and through the xylem. The vascular bundle, which is responsible, it is going to do the job. See, now in the vacuoles are storing these nanoparticles. So the moment you irrigate or some little water and moisture is available, it starts transporting. So it slowly it is releasing into the plant. So there is no question of leaching losses and all that, like in soil application, you put urea bag and that all those things get lost. So this is how they have already done. A lot of results are very promising. Even at IIHR, they worked on tomato, cabbage, and cucumber, and nanotechnology was giving very promising results. They have also given the state-wise trials. So 8,719 trials have been made. So very good harvest. So it is giving very promising results. You can see the India map. So whatever I'm telling is not a very utopian and something to be imaginatory. They're all running on the field. And especially IFCO has come out with this Farmer First project. A lot of yields have been generated and many trials, both Rabi, Kharif. Just a minute. So now, so even at a nano level, it is giving 11.8% increase. So we have already told you the project. So it is environmentally friendly, safe to use, absolutely no residues, no toxicity for either the flora, fauna or the earthworm. Absolutely safe. This is what we have been promoting it. So now it is required less, the volume is less, reduces the use of chemical fertilizers, produces more. It is ecologically safe and economically affordable. So the way forward is that in the coming years, the drudgery in agriculture is going to reduce. People are going to use nanoparticles, which is much more effective. And the penetration is also better. Efficacy is also better. So this is the way forward for it. So especially when I say Swavalamban Bharat, Sustainable Development Goals in India, so these things are going to stand. So therefore, the Atmanirbhar Krishi and the Atmanirbhar Bharat is going to take the nano technologies to the future for the Kisan, for the Krishi, for the Sakarta. So like that it was. So what are the advantages of nano pesticides? See, now the chemical pesticides are already out. Organic pesticides are in. We have the integrated pest management, better stability and formulation. By using nanoparticles, the pesticides are going to be slowly released of the active ingredient, improved mobility. Whenever moisture is there, it comes. And whenever pest is going to eat it, it's going to die. So there is no wastage of the chemical. So it is a highly target-oriented, surface area-oriented, at a nano level, 10 to the power minus 9, okay, level, higher surface area, uniform leaf coverage, improved pesticide utilization. See, it is something like you eat 1 kilo of rice, but the effective carbohydrates, proteins, and fat is very less. So therefore, when we come to this DFRL, Defense Food Research Labs, we have come out with a protein ball. We have come out with a very balanced diet. So all enriched food, there's no point in eating junk food which doesn't matter. Similarly, nanopesticides are highly target oriented. So we are also going to use nano sensors for many of our biological, chemical, or surgical sensory points. How to see, for example, you are doing this endoscopy. Endoscopy is a very cumbersome process. Okay, when I have to put 3 stents in somebody's heart, they put this wire from your left hand. So now when I use these sensors, I can exactly know where the block is there in the heart. So this is how the nano sensors are going to work. So, and then, for example, when we are doing the isotope study with nitrogen 15, we wanted to see how the uptake is there at the different rhizosphere radii. So instead of doing a N15 isotope study, I can use nano sensors and I can do the same study. So what are the particles of these nanoparticles? You should know. It is smaller in size, larger surface area. It has an increased surface area to volume ratio. It can pass through the plant and animal cells. You already know that plant cells have got the cell wall, whereas the animal cells do not have the cell wall. They have only the cell membrane. So if I use a nanoparticle, it can very easily pass through the cell membrane. Say, suppose I am taking insulin. I'll give you that example in the next slide, how it is related. If I take nano insulin, very slowly the insulin has to be released into the thing, delivering the required product at cellular level, slow release and specific release. See, now ROS means reactive oxygen species. See, whenever I put the nanoparticles, based on the charges, they start moving. So, this is called the ionic movement. Say, the electrodes, they have charges, positive and negative charges. They are highly hydrophilic in nature. High solubility is there in water. Because of this, they have competitive binding sites with the receptor. So wherever, suppose you are having a disease, suppose insulin is required by the body in a particular cell. So that is called the receptor. So let us say the pancreas is the one which produces the insulin, or you are taken nano insulin injection. So therefore, wherever the receptors are there, because of the electric charge, it goes and binds there very effectively. So your disease cure or your any efficient cure is going, suppose the plant has to take nutrients. So some cells may require more nutrients, especially the meristematic tissues where, lot of cell elongation and then growth is occurring. So more nutrients can be pumped in there. So that is based on simply the cohesion tension theory and all this receptor, competitive binding sites with receptor. So this phenomenon is used in the nanotechnology, and because of this, you will have very efficient growth and there is no wastage of the particle in case of the nanotechnology used in agriculture. See, now I have told you this purple color, the GMO tomatoes, it was released very recently. And why people want this modified purple tomato is it is highly rich in lycopene. See here, highly, and it can prevent cardiovascular diseases. It can fight cancer. Actually, it was originated from Tennessee in New York, near Native Americans. They were using it. Rich dark color. It is having high protein and anthocyanins and lycopene, antioxidants. See, for example, you should take more antioxidant. I told you ROS, just have a look at this. Reactive oxygen species. That means we require more oxygen to be produced at a very cellular level.
Hello, sir, you are available? Hello, sir, we lost your audio. Hello? Hello? Oh, sir, we lost your audio. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm sharing again. There was some
please, sir.
connection issue.
Please. Yeah. Put it in a slideshow mode, sir.
Yeah, so I was just telling about this purple colored GMO tomatoes. Very recently it was on news, and in WhatsApp also you were saying. So it has got a very high lycopene content, high antioxidants. See, Suma, the moment if you take these sort of nanotechnology oriented nutrients or foods or whatever it is, the antioxidant properties at a very cellular level. See, I told you, for example, the human body, how it takes the nano insulin. See, for example, nano insulin. See, for example, any diabetic patient you'll be knowing, when they take about 2 injections a day, they take muscular, they take it near the stomach. And then every day you have to take about 2 injections, 25 units, 25 units. Suppose the nano insulin, it will take some more time to come. And people say by 2032, you'll have the oral nano insulin pill, which is actually composed of nano syringes. I'll show you next. See here. These are the oral nano insulin. By 2032, it's going to come. It has got a lot of this insulin pill contains insulin. Small needles are actually there. So it gets stuck up to inside your stomach, the hepatic CK, whatever we say, it gets stuck up, and the moment it pricks there, slowly it releases a thing. Because, suppose some people may ask why you cannot drink insulin. See, because, presently all that gastric juice or the hydrochloric acid will, degenerate all the insulin. Therefore, we have to take this oral nano insulin, and it's going to come and releasing an array of nano needles. Slowly it releases. See here, 4 micrometer. This is the needle we are presently using. Earlier we were using 12.7 micrometer needles. Oh, it's a lot of pain. 4 mm needle, I take this. No pain at all. Developed by Becton Dickinson and company. So artificial pancreas is also made with all the nanoparticles. So therefore, so when you take nano insulin, you require insulin is less, and at a receptor level, we can push the insulin, and it will be more effective diabetic management. That's how it is. So today, organic farming is becoming popular, and then hydroponic techniques all require nanoparticles, nanofertilizers. I told you what is a nanoparticle, 10 to the power minus next, and how they get, they use the electric charges to bind themselves at the receptor sites, very important both in fertilizer and pesticides. And the movement of and it is already stored in the vacuoles. I told you vacuole is a place in the leaf structure or in the plant cell structure. Every plant, a leaf may have millions of plant cells, and each cell has a cell wall and a cell membrane, and the vacuoles actually, they store all these nano fertilizer particles, and slowly it gets released. I told you how through this tomato the movement is taking place. See, presently what is happening is the nitrogen is only 30 to 35% efficient. You put 100 kilos, only 35% is taken. Rest is all leached and wasted. Phosphorus 15 to 20% because of fixation. Potassium, fixation in clay lattice 60 to 80% is quite efficient. Sulfur is only 8 to 10%, especially when you put both muriate of potash and sulfate of potash. Because of immobilization, leaching with water. Micronutrients, only 2 to 5%. They get fixed in the soil. In order to overcome these problems, we have come out with these nano fertilizers. We have already told you what is the nano and all that. So we have the knowledge part, we have the science part, and we are going to have the campaign part of the nano technology in agriculture. When we say Gyan, Vigyan or Abhiyan. So this is how, I'm not going into the nitty-gritty of how a nanotechnology is actually, nano urea is produced, dissolved in carbohydrate, acetic acid, and then sodium salt of polyphosphate, urea. So this is how there's a big process flow chart how the nanoparticle is produced in nano urea. I told you in the Kalol plant at Gujarat how they produce even nano sulfur, micronutrients, they're all produced. So now there are various aspects in agriculture. Nano pesticide delivery. I told you slow and controlled release of nanoparticles containing biofertilizers. We can do that. Transport of genetic material for crop development. Okay, so especially application of, for example, when you say marker assisted gene, okay, you have all that. So you can identify by using the sensors. So you can identify your phytopathogens. Okay, especially your CRISPR. Okay, these are how the molecular assisted reproduction is going to take place. Biosensors, phytopathogen, other biotic and abiotic states. It can early detect, say that a drought it is suffering or the permanent wilting point has come, and then how we should do all that. So this is all it's applied. So right now we are using nanotechnology to increase production rates, minimize waste production. Okay, then treating agriculture waste. There is no point in simply, collecting the garbage and doing, especially they're all microbial fermentation, both aerobic, anaerobic, composting, and, sewage, water disposition, and then garbage, all they're using nano sensors for effective transportation and then decomposition also. We have got the various, especially in IIHR also, we have the ARCA microbial consortia. So it is going to decompose at a nano level. So now, actually, nanotechnology is a multidisciplinary in nature. Agriculture it is used. So nanotechnologies are getting produced. Agrochemicals it is used. Biotechnology is used, especially in breeding. Then, identifying your markers. In livestock it is used for effective feed management. Nanotoxicology, a very big area in disease management. Hydroponics, especially in horticulture, where we use the protected cultivation. In fact, IIHR has got a center for advanced technologies in protected cultivation. So nanobiotechnology, I've given the link, you can always go through it. So nanoparticles common in agriculture sector are especially slow and controlled manner. The polymeric nanoparticles are there where biocompatibility and minimal impact on non-targeted organisms. See, especially when I'm spraying a pesticide, especially I have the 10G and the 6G molecules, nowadays it has come. If I use a nanoparticle, especially the isomers are used. See, isomers is the alpha, beta, gamma, these are the various positions. See, by changing the position of the COOH group, I can call it as an isomer pesticide, which is more effective. And, the biocompatibility, suppose if I want a pesticide to attack only Helicoverpa armigera or whatever it is going to be highly, very, very biocompatible and targeted. See, earlier what has been, they're all broad spectrum pesticides. Spray a pesticide, even the predators and parasites are killed. And even beneficial insects were killed. But nowadays I can target the pesticides. See, like, the corona vaccine, it is going to target only corona. Okay, like that, you require a biocompatible, a targeted nanotechnology in place. See, suppose, if I'm having headache, I should take a tablet only to relieve headache, not to relieve my other thing. Whereas paracetamol is a very broad spectrum. Overall body pains will go, not just your stomach ache. Anyway, that mechanism we are not going how it's working, but agriculture sector, the nanoparticles, we are trying to use it by using the glycol, co-glycolized glutamic acid, we are going to target it. Silver nanoparticles are especially used for antimicrobial property, to spray pesticide disease, and the silver nanoparticles also have increase of the plant growth. Nano aluminosilicate. are used as efficient pesticides. Okay, titanium dioxide nanoparticles are biocompatible. We use it for disinfecting agent for water. You don't need to disinfect using, some, Gemaxine or, bleaching powder. You'll have to use the titanium dioxide, and you should use nanoparticles. It's more safe to disinfect water. See, especially when your reverse osmosis plant you are using, okay, definitely it removes, and water should always be a bit alkaline in nature when you have to drink. See, even the reverse osmosis plant produces a water with a pH of 5 or 6. A little bit of acidic taste is there in water. Please understand, I'm telling you as a scientist. So therefore, disinfecting water and without causing acidity in water through the reverse osmosis plant, you have to use titanium dioxide nanoparticles for disinfecting. Then carbon nanomaterials are especially used in improving seed germination, a little spray, especially the nanomaterial like graphene oxide, carbon dots and fullerenes, they are used in improving seed germination. So there is other nanoparticles like zinc oxide, copper oxide, and magnetic nanoparticles, which actually stick to the receptor areas, and then I have a better both pesticide, fertilization. I told you the vascular bundles, the xylem, the phloem. See, wherever the plant structure is there. See, today I'm very sorry that I have to talk to you like a biology student. I am. See, I'm basically a biology botany guy who became a BSc AG, MSc AG, PhD guy. So application of biology and all this science into agriculture, and now applying nanotechnology into agriculture. So there's a small video I've given a thing how nanotechnology is used in sustainable agriculture. Then afterwards, we are also going to use how this nano urea. There are two steps. Okay, the mixture is sprayed onto calcium cyanamide granules to form nano urea. So once when the atomization, we say ATOMISCATION, atomization of the particles take place at a very small level. Okay, we deionize them with water, especially in color plant, and then afterwards we spray it onto calcium cyanamide granules, and that forms the nanourea particle. It can be both an emulsifiable concentrate, it can dissolve in water and absolutely fine, and you can further dilute it and spray. Actually, a mist spray is given and not a foliar spray. Should be in a form of a mist, very fine particles. I think you understand what is a mist and what is drenching. You should not avoid to drenching. So all these things are there. So in fact, who did it, how they did it. So which are the, say Ramesh Ralia, this boy, he's our nanotechnology inventor who invented the nano urea. He's right now working at the, he works in US, at the University of Miami. And then actually this boy was actually one of our research associates. He had his PhD from Jodhpur. He was working in our Kadri, which is also another ICR institute. I have my students working there. So this boy was working there. He developed the nano urea. That's his parents. He's from Jodhpur. A PhD in chemistry in nanobiotechnology awarded by Jodhpur. And then he's a postdoctoral guy at the Washington University at St. Louis right now. So, who told that normal Indians cannot produce big things? They can produce very big things. That is Swavlamban and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So that is his background, and there's a small video you can go through as well. I think my time is running up, so I can go on like this. Nano potash, all these things are there. The science behind I've already told you. Okay, the nano urea, I told you how it is used. It is higher yield, increased income, better food, reduction in chemical, easy to store and transport. Okay, all these things have been better explained. I'm quickly going to the conclusion part of it. So, and also it is highly chemically compatible. There is a full view of list. So you can use this with any other, fungicide, pesticide, and so on and so forth. Even they should be nano molecules, and the efficiency is much, much better. Okay, the price is not big because, a 45 kg bag urea is costing 242, 50 kg urea will cost you 268. See, actually per acre, it's about 500 ml bottle, which is priced at about 260 rupees. But whereas you have to put 100 kgs of urea, if you have to get 42 kilos of nitrogen, which will cost you also around 500 rupees. So half the rate, more efficient. So we can use it in aeroponics, soil application, foliar application in hydroponics. This is how it is how it is produced. So which are the nanoparticles? We have iron, we have zinc, we have cortex, and then we have aluminum, we have silver, we have copper, we have tin, we have nickel. So they actually they interact at the metaxylem. So I think you know what is the cambium metaxylem. I don't want to go into the botany of it. So at highly receptors, we have identified the various sites in a particular plant tissues and the plant cells, and even within a plant cell, whether the vacuole is going to have this or not. So we are going to make it highly localization and interaction, and especially at the root absorption zone, we are going to use the fertilizers and so on. So now, 1 minute. So we have also come out with genetically modified azospirillum rhizobium strains, which can respond to say, many of our nanoparticles. So I think that's it, friends. I will stop sharing and open this for interaction. Very quickly before I make the conclusion. See, now nanotechnology is the future. And see, when you have got a better alternative, see, for example, when you are having Swiggy and Zomato, okay, who is going to cook at home? And given a chance, we would like to free our wives and our people who are working in the kitchen for that. So therefore, similarly, when you have got a better alternative, when you have got a best alternative for you, see, I don't think anybody is going to use more drudgery. When I'm going to have targeted nano insulin, when I'm going to have targeted tablets, see, tomorrow we have nano insecticides, we have nano medicines, we have nano insulin, everything is nano. You take, you see, for example, earlier, even many of you might have taken homeopathy also. Homeopathy actually is administered lesser the concentration, more is the effectiveness. So similarly, nanotechnology has got this particular philosophy. Okay, smaller the particle, better is the penetration, better is the site receptor, especially working on electrical charges, and it binds at the particular receptor sites, and your disease control or nutrient uptake through the xylem on food transportation through the phloem, it is all going to be there. For example, if you take grapes, for example, we use what is called as the girdling technique. You know what is the girdling technique? See, especially the bark of the grapes, we are going to remove the outer bark. So what is there in the outer bark? The xylem is inside, the phloem is outside. So what does the phloem do? The phloem transports food from the leaves to the roots. So we don't want the roots of the grapes to become thick. We want the berries to become thick. So if the transportation of food is not going to the legs, it should go only to the berries. So therefore, this is one technique for berry thickness. So like that, you should play with the physiology and the chemistry and the biology of the plant or the animals. And then you should identify where are the site receptors, whether it is insulin the pancreas is doing, or how to, for example, what is the big problem in diabetes management? The insulin resistance. So what do we want to do? By taking more antioxidants and that tomato, especially that purple color tomato and all, when you increase the antioxidant materials taken into your body, your reception of insulin is going to be better. See, that's why we say don't eat very fatty foods, meats, red meats, which will actually reduce your, which will increase your insulin resistance. So if you want to have better insulin resistance, better disease management, you should switch to vegan or highly vegetarian, more of antioxidants, more of roughage. So that is how, you know, both the diabetes management with insulin, with the tablet, ultimately you have to stimulate your pancreas to perform better. So similarly, in case of agriculture also, I have given you umpteen examples that how we are going to increase the site receptor, how we are going to target, and how we are going to play with these nanoparticles. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think now it's time for me to take questions. I thank Dhanalakshmi and then my other friends from Agri Information, Rajini madam. And so thank you very much. I open this for questions, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for an informative talk. I'll take up the questions now. The first question is from one Dr. Rao. He's asking, what is the difference between regular agriculture with nanotechnology of agriculture?
Yeah, see, regular agriculture is, you know, Like a donkey, you put 2 bags of fertilizer and engage some 10 laborers and they will run away. And when the rain comes, the fertilizers get leached. And the absorption in the rhizosphere is less. But by using nano fertilizer, it is taken up by the stomata, especially through the xylem and the phloem, both are used in transportation. And all the nutrients are stored in the vacuoles of the cells. I told you the plant cell has a cell wall, and it is stored in the vacuole, and whenever little moisture is available, slowly it is transported. So it is almost like our bank. So nanotechnology and cell interaction and plant interaction is like a bank balance, like you do UPI payments. You don't handle cash. If you handle cash, you will spend it away in liquor or something. But when you use UPI payments, your payments will be very restricted and you will have an efficient cash management. Similarly, when I use nanotechnology and nano fertilizers and nano pesticides, it is more safer and better effective. Thank you.
Okay. The member was asking even your contact details, sir. I will share your contact details. Okay. I'll move on to the next question. Is nano fertilizer organic or inorganic?
No. See, let me tell you here, the question of organic, inorganic is not coming. See, nano fertilizer can be both organic and inorganic. See, for example, how when nitrogen is picked up by the plant, it is taken in the ionic form, N+. So N is a 14. That means the molecular weight of nitrogen is 14. Okay. So now N2 means 2 molecules of nitrogen. N2 means 7 + 7, 14. So now it is taken up in the ionic form. So whether it comes from organic matter or it comes from inorganic matter, you cannot distinguish. Even in case of organic certification, it is only a certification. You cannot pinpointly say that the nitrogen comes from inorganic or organic source. It is taken up in the ionic form. So in this particular case, the nano urea which is produced at Kalol, it is an inorganic one, but at the time of take-up, it is as good as organic. So it is very safe. No, don't worry about it.
Okay. Is India ready for nano fertilizers?
It is already ready. See, I am a consultant for IFCO and I keep already their product is there. People are buying it. But see, people are still having an apathy or, they have a stereotypic behavior. See, for example, if you eat idli, vada and dosa, the same volume. See, if you take 10 idlis in a plate and with half a liter of chutney, you will be satisfied. But I can give you the same nutrients with just half a glass of some idli syrup or highly concentrated material, and I can inject the nanotechnology into your body. Just like, when you are sick, you are given that saline, through saline, all the nutrients are going. Glucose is going to the saline. There also, you will not feel hungry, but you will get the stereotype behavior is you will get satisfied by eating 10 idlis in a big plate with half a liter of sambar and half a liter of chutney and dipping that idli. So there is only a stereotypic behavior, and very soon it is getting vanished. See, earlier, even today, insulin, very smartly we take that 4 mm needle and just not even, when I said 25 units, 3 ml is having 300 units. So hardly 0.25 ml of insulin is enough. But it is giving the same effect. Earlier we were taking that big syringe, the 10 ml bottle and injecting. So it has become smarter. The effect is same. Stereotype.
Okay. Can nano urea be used for drip irrigation?
Yeah. Nano urea?
Be used for drip irrigation?
No. See, please, we have a very important question. It was there somewhere in the slide. And see, nano urea should not be used in drip. It is only a foliar spray. See, you should not put the nano urea ml into your drip irrigation system. Yeah, please. Yeah, it's a very good question you have asked, and thanks for letting me this question. It should be given a foliar spray because it is taken up by the leaves. It is not taken up by the roots. See, drip irrigation is going to be given to the roots. The roots will absorb where it is full of xylem. Okay, here we are asking both the phloem and the xylem available in the leaf through this tomato hydrathodes. It's going to pick up from there.
Okay. And the next question is nano urea cheaper than conventional urea?
No. Half the rate. See, now you require 500 ml of nano urea, which is going to cost you some 242 rupees. But if you use urea, what you have to do, 50 kg urea is also 262 rupees. You have to put 100 kg of urea to get 42.6 kilos of nitrogen. So almost you have to spend 500 rupees. Here you are spending 242 rupees. Half the rate and easy to spray. That's all. Drudgery is not there. Otherwise, 100 kg urea, one laborer has to carry it in a bandli or whatever. Whole day you'll have to, disperse it like that. So drudgery is reduced. Half the rate and double the efficiency.
Okay. Has nanotechnology really increased the farmer's income?
See, again you are touching because I have been seeing now the science is increasing. We say that economics is a social science. Extension is a social science, whereas agronomy and others are science. The science only increases the efficiency of the production. But the other issues like marketing and somebody is cheating the other fellow, these are all social sciences for which we require Lord Krishna to come and do dharma samstapana. That means paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That means for economic benefit of the farmers, the government, the NGOs, the farmer producer organization, they have to come out with a game to increase the income. Why is that always the real estate is getting good price? Farmers don't get price because the production is very high. When production is high, the glut is occurring. Because the glut is occurring because there is no value addition. There is no efficient supply chain and value chain. So by establishing an efficient supply chain and value chain only, the income of farmers can be increased. And nanotechnology is only increasing the production. Please understand. It has got nothing to do with the economics and other things, which also I have given lecture in the earlier series about how to increase income. If you have to increase your income of a farmer, okay, you should see that glut will not occur and every produce is put in the supply chain and a better value chain, and you realize more money of it. See, I will give a small example, Dhanlakshmiji. See, now, Dhanlakshmiji, are you hearing? You can say
yes,
yes.
Yes, sir. Please.
No, Dhanlakshmiji, just a point. See, you buy coffee powder. I think you drink Kothas coffee, whatever it is, filter coffee.
Yeah.
See, the coffee powder will cost you hardly, let us say 20 or 30 rupees one packet. But when you go outside, see, minimum you have to shell down 20 rupees for a cup of coffee. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, that is value addition. But if Dhanalakshmi prepares coffee out of courtesy and because I am her guest, I may get that coffee free of cost only for one day. But every day I may not get it. So therefore, people should understand how the value addition is taking place. And because of the value addition and the place value addition. See, suppose, if you go to the airport, you have to give 100 rupees for the same coffee. And if in Coimbatore bus stand, it is available for 10 rupees. So these rates will differ. So similarly, the farmer only by producing, you won't get income. Nanotechnology increases the production. But you have to do efficient marketing, value addition, conversion, making an FPO, and further to increase income, input factorization, output commercialization. I think I've told enough of economics. So in the next lecture, when you call me, I will speak only on how to double the income. That also, I think, in one of the lecture, I have covered it. Thank you, Dhanlakshmi.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Dr. V.K. Jayaraghavendra Rao for the talk and for answering the questions. I also like to thank all the participants in this meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Okay, thank you. I'm leaving the meeting. Hope to meet you again and again.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, fine.